Fog Wrestling, back with another Monday Night Raw review, 21st, 20th of June 2022. We kick off the show. Bianca Belair announces that Rhea Ripley won't be medically cleared in time for Money in the Bank, so we're having an impromptu fatal 5-way to determine the new number one contender. Hate Bianca Belair, hate Rhea Ripley, so I'm glad this match ain't taking place, but we see Carmella defeating Bliss, Asuka, Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch to earn the right to face her, which is intriguing because at the same time, right, see that fly, it's fucking buzzing about, man. I'm actually going to rip its wings off, kill its entire fucking family. But you know, I hate Belair. Hopefully Carmella wins, but I guess we've just got to move on here. But McMahon then made his way out to the ring, and I'm like, what in the name of Christ is going on here? Man, it's just came out here. He's talked about that Monday Night Raw has been on our TVs for 29 years. It's nearly been 30 years since Raw. Of course, it was 1993 when Raw made its debut, which is mad. I mean, I think he said it was the 1015th and 17th episode or something. Maybe I'm even wrong with that, to be honest. Could be more. I mean, it's probably more like 20. Well, if 19 years, nah, it's probably about right actually. Because I'm thinking of like 19 years is 1,000 episodes, and what would 11 or 10 years be? I mean, it would be roughly about half. But yeah, it comes out. Says we've had massive superstars over the years, but one of those superstars that dominated Raw for 20 of those 30 years is coming back. Damn it, he's coming back next week, and it's like, did Cena really dominate Raw for that long? He could have just said WWE, but I guess he was on Raw, like, so yeah, it made a bit more sense. But since the brand split is fucking dead, you know, did McMahon really need to go down this road? Who knows? But big match, fucking John. He's gonna be there next week. McMahon announced it and then fucks off, and it was much better than what happened on SmackDown. So, an actual alright segment here. I mean, it was nothing, but I mean, McMahon coming out, doing his walk, thinking he's the fucking dog's bollocks because he's fucking like 25-year-olds, which is fair enough when you're 76. And then he announces the return of Big Match John. I mean, it couldn't have been much better, but it couldn't have been much worse either, because I mean, at the same time, like, it's McMahon announcing the return of Cena. I don't really know how he could have done it to improve it or make it worse, so it was alright, you know. And I mean, at least it means next week is going to be pretty interesting. But then we had Riddle trying to qualify for the Money in the Bank, but almost defeated him, and it kind of something. He lost the reins, of course, on SmackDown, and now it looks like the guy I see my soul to you. He's a bit jobber up, but Seth Rollins then came out and attacked Riddle. And it's like, is this going to be the next feud going down? But then we had a gauntlet match up next. We had a pose down. Theory got battered by Bobby Lashley. But actually, the gauntlet match wasn't actually up next. But we had Angelo Dawkins defeating Jey Uso. Fuck me, like, main event Jey Uso and Dawkins is beating him. Absolutely ridiculous. We then get a segment between Elias and Ezekiel backstage. Like, it'll be interesting to see how they're going to pull this off, because they're both going to appear next week. But obviously Elias is just getting his fucking beard glued on, his man bun propped in for the cool action scene. And then Bobby Lashley gauntlet match up next after Elias attacked Kevin Owens. To be fair, it was alright this segment, to be fair. Bobby Lashley defeats Chad Gable in the gauntlet match. I mean, he has to go through this gauntlet match to face Fury. It's like, why the fuck? Like, he defeats him, he then defeats Otis by disqualification, and then he defeats Fury in the gauntlet match, so he wins all these matches, so he's got himself a title shot. And it's like, why isn't the guy, like, why didn't he want to put in a qualifier for the Money in the Bank match so he could take Reigns on? But instead he's doing, 3 matches just to get a shot at the US title? Seems a bit ridiculous to me. AJ Styles then is on Miz TV, and the Miz gets clocked by a Pele kick. Whoop they fucking do. Then Styles defeats Ciampa. Don't really understand what the whole gimmick is here between Miz and Ciampa, but well. But I bet you the marks were playing with themselves over this one. Of course, AJ Styles recently appeared on Slammiversary, which was pretty intriguing. Fear Mahan vows more destruction. Whoop they do. And then we have Asuka defeating Becky Lynch to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. And it's another temper tantrum after the match. Who gives a fuck, man? I think we've seen Asuka Becky Lynch one too many times now. But anyway, guys, that'll do it for your Monday Night Raw. Probably the better one in weeks. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. But I mean, fuck, it wasn't good either. You know, 3 out of 10 is nothing to be writing home about. But these days, it probably is.